good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Jump. Dima, I'm a piano music. Oh my God, this shit is crazy, guys. And you know, one of the things that I want you guys to know in life is that trouble, it is really easy to get into, but hard as hell to get out of. Shout out to my mama. She told me that a long time ago. Fast forward, Demo. Let's go to what happened with the Academy Awards, guys. You told me that Will Smith received a 10-year ban from going to the Oscars. Now, I mean, it's just like, okay, well, fuck it. He can't go to the Oscars for 10 years. Who cares? But what's not being talked about, guys? Well, here's what's not being talked about. What are the blackballing deals behind the scene that he has to pay within those 10 years? You see, let me just talk to you guys about this. Those of you who have corporate jobs, your money depends on a structure, society, people are bigger than you. The Negro stuff that we do as black people, there's a lane for it. And I'm not trying to make it okay to do stupid stuff like slapping people and all of that, right? But when you don't have power and you're just a highly paid actor and you don't own any part of the industry, then you leave your Negro shit at home, okay? You do it on your own time. And it's clear as day that this is a sign, not only to him, but any other black person. You don't do that on our time, all right? And when you do, there are prices for you to pay because you didn't recognize who you were and who we are. You thought you were too big for your britches. Now you're washed. Bill Cosby learned that. OJ learned that. Will Smith learned that. And I want to talk to guys out there who feel like, you know, once you get money, you're untouchable. You don't have to follow rules. See, this is what happens with the black male ego sometimes. We can get a little besides ourselves. And we can think that we can do things that we're going to regret. And what happens is that we have to learn as a group of African-American men to control our emotions. Let me tell you this. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. There are a lot of times somebody did something to me or said something to me. And, you know, I had to defend myself because, you know, I thought I was being cool. I thought I was being masculine. I thought I was being macho. And then I found out after what it was, I wasn't. I hurt myself. I hurt my family. I hurt other people because I didn't use what God gave me, which is a brain. And things in life are always going to come out that you may like, situations that you may not appreciate, but everything is all in how you handle it. And any guys who've lived overseas, you understand what I'm talking about, more or less. When you're overseas, you're living in somebody else's country. People do things slow. They do things wrong. You get scammed. Do you want to just go up and slap them? I mean, you can do it at risk of getting yourself killed or deported.
Get the fuck
But what if you're in school there? What if you have a business there? What if your family depends on what you do and you get emotional and you let yourself get beat just because you reacted to a bad situation? And see, that is what is different from us than maybe some primitive animals, because we should be able to reason. And we have to, as black men, think long term. I'm learning that. I have a big temper, you know, when I get turned up, you know, I can say things, even in arguments, man. There are certain times that I want to say something, I've been wronged, and I'll say some things that will really get me in trouble. And you never know. And the thing about it is, guys, you never know when you're going to need somebody. Okay. You never know when you're going to need somebody. And then you burn a bridge. And then what you can do in 10 seconds can really destroy you for years. Look at the penitentiary. And this video is not so much about Will Smith, but it's so much about us. Because many of us, like, I have a relative, man, he's a very talented guy. He's smart as a whip, but he can't keep a job because he runs his mouth too much. Every time there's something that is a problem, he has to address it. He has to make a big deal, tell somebody how he feels. And guess what? well, you're fired. Old, can't keep a 401k, can't keep anything. And then after making millions of dollars and then to show for it because you're not stable. Okay. Now, I also want to talk about guys like Will Smith. And I know I'm going to use this opportunity to talk about our own stuff. You see, the one thing I like about the guys in Nollywood, they can't be canceled. See? And I wish that we had more blacks doing diasporan films or entering the African market or vice versa, because see, if Will Smith was canceled from this, and if he had his own situation, this wouldn't hurt so much. I wish Spike Lee would have thought about that. Like, if you look at the guys in Africa and Nollywood, can you really cancel them? Hell no, you can't cancel them, because who gives a shit about Hollywood? They don't care about the Academy Awards. But see, so many of us, our income in our stuff is based on what's going on in the United States. And I understand there's beefs with the black communities and things like that, but then you can see Will Smith has a lack of ownership. He's a high paid employee. If you had your own independent stuff, you might not be as big as them, but you probably can still make the same amount of money. And this is also telling me that we need to get into control a lot of our industries. That's why the celebrity junk, the plans I have for this, are these concepts starting small. I want to be able to serve the people independent of, what I do here and stuff I do like that, because the reality is that you only get one time to fuck up, which was a big one. He should have never did it. But you have less chances of like the Source Awards, for example. Fights go on all the time. Nobody gets canceled, right? And Source Awards is ghetto as hell, but it's their shit. And that's why I like the guys like Master P, Jay Prince. You can say what you want to say about guys like that, but they can't be canceled, can they? But we got to learn those two things. Create more of our own stuff. Start small. And also, before you act, think. Some of us are 53 years old like Will Smith and don't realize that, but there's prices you got to pay. And the bigger they are, the harder they fall. We're seeing it right now, guys. Will Smith thought he was untouchable, but you're never bigger than the system. Never. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again for another episode of The Celebrity Joe. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. Check out the first comment pinned to the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.